the tackle when defending.
I think it's like.
People deluded, I'm back again.
Come on, Ian. Come on.
People deluded, just as Ian Wright said. I am indeed back again. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and of course, good night. Let's see what latest news is concerning the football club we love, which is Arsenal, or the Arsenal, as we should be saying. Now, the secret scout, Balogun. Now, I'm pretty sure you lot are tired of this Balogun shenanigans. We were here when he signed his last deal. We're here now. 1 minute it's West Ham, then it's Monaco, then it's Leipzig, then it's Inter. Spurs have been linked with him. I mean, if they're paying the box, let him go there, in it, really and truly. Especially they'll have to pay a premium. But for Balogun, boy, it wouldn't be nice. Nonetheless, the secret scout allegedly has said he understands Monaco are in pole position to sign Balogun from Arsenal. West Ham are also interested in the striker into a key, but they were keen, but they were unable to pay the fee. Now, for Balogun, Monaco's a great lifestyle. You know, it's a lovely city. Obviously, there's tax-free benefits. He knows Liga. Again, you know, Ben Yedder, he's got some legal issues going around him, and Bolo's injured. There's a platform for you to play, and apparently they tried to sign him when we had the Emirates Cup. So it makes sense for Monaco. They get a player, if he develops and goes to the next level, they'll make a profit. And things. Personally, I think our fans are overrating him. He's like a shiny new toy. That doesn't mean I don't think he's a good player. I think he's here. People are putting him up there. And when he inevitably struggles, people are going to be the first to critique the man unnecessarily. 50 odd million for someone that's barely, you know, scratched the surface for appearances at Arsenal, for someone that on paper doesn't appear to be in Mikel Arteta's plans, is great money. And it's a good look for Arsenal because it shows that Haaland can produce players like Nelson and Nketiah, Saka, Smith Rowe, what have you, that can be utilized in the first team, or players that could come through the academy and be sold on. Obviously, Iwobi, Joe Willock are doing well for them, and we wish Balogun the best. And obviously, 50 million, considering what we spent, you know, it brings some money back into the club that could potentially be reinvested, really. For Balogun, at the end of the day, Arteta is quite clear when he wants a player involved, and then he leaves things air of judgment. Now, Balogun's probably struggled to stay fit in pre-season and hasn't really had a sniff. But on paper, you've got Martinelli, Trossard, Havertz, Jesus, and then Nketiah all in front of you. If it was up to me, Arsenal would sign a striker that has different ingredients to what we have. End of the day, whether you're a striker, a winger, a 10, only an X amount of you can get game time, only an X amount of you can play. Balogun hasn't helped himself because he's made it clear he don't want to go on loan again. His stock is high. He's contracted until 2025. It's good money, really and truly, if I'm completely honest with you. Reports out of Italy have been speaking about Balogun as more or less kind of just contextualize what we've already said. Apparently, Arsenal are asking for 50 million euros, which is around 40 odd million pounds. Monaco has reached 40 million euros and now evaluates the possibility of relaunching a new central forward. Fair enough, really and truly. You know, that kind of just reiterates what we're saying. Do not rule out Arsenal making a move for Barcelona's Ansu Fati, says reports out of Spain. We're always linked with him. If he's able to stay fit, why not? He's young. Can play up front, can play on the right, can play on the left. Very much a versatile player. If Arteta, who loves a failed wonder kid or a wonder kid that's gone through hardships, if he can get something out of him, I'm all for him, people, really and truly. West Ham apparently are opening initial talks to sign Mohamed Kudus. He's their primary target in case Paqueta leaves to join Manchester City. There's been positive talks on the player's side. Kudus is open to the move. He's still waiting on approach as Ajax deal will depend on Paqueta. Now, there's a lot of moving parts. Kudus is a player that Arsenal, Chelsea, Manchester United have all been interested in. So far, nobody's placed a bid. Allegedly, Brighton were keen to sign him. I don't know why that's collapsed. You know, do Brighton think, you know, he's taking the pee a bit and he's taking too long? You know, Kudus probably was open to accepting Brighton, but naturally was keeping his options open, and it probably dragged out, and Brighton have moved on. Now, obviously, West Ham is a massive club. They just gained the European trophy. They are in the Premier League. They have got an experienced manager in David Moyes, and they are bringing a couple of players in. But in isolation, without knowing all the moving parts of this, I don't know why you would pick West Ham over Brighton, with the greatest respect. Maybe after seeing how long it took Caicedo to step up, maybe he doesn't want to sign the mad contract and have to deal with Tony Bloom. But on the face of it, Brighton are a club where I'm sure their fans are more happy with how every fragment of that club is moving along in comparison comparison to West Ham, let's be very honest. West Ham won more games in the Conference League than they won in the league. Their victory in Europe kind of overshadows how disastrous their Premier League campaign was, and their fans deserve more. And it looks, for West Ham, it looks great because they're finally bringing in some players to cope with the departures of Scamacca. Not that he was a key player, potentially Paqueta to Manchester City, and obviously the big one, Declan Rice, who has signed for Arsenal Football Club. It looks like they've got Edson Alvarez, they've got James Ward-Prowse. Kudus would be a great signing, but you know, Brighton are in Europe. Respectfully to David Moyes, I think Roberto De Zerbi is someone that can improve you a bit more collectively. Brighton are probably at that stake now where you can never turn down money, but after letting McAllister go, Cucurella go, Benjamin White go, Caicedo now, and probably some other players that are missing out, and having some bankers in Ferguson, Brighton are probably at that stage where they need to decide now, are we doing what Dortmund and Ajax kind of do in that, oh, don't get twisted, everyone's got a price, but are you doing that thing where, you know, the puzzle's never finished because every time you get 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 players, a couple are picked off? Or is it a case where they say, you know what, we're holding on to players now, we're trying to build on what we've done in the last 2 years, and we're trying to break into the top 6 or do things of that ilk? I believe that's where Brighton are at. You've got Tony Bloom, who doesn't take any prisoners. You've got a great manager in Roberto De Zerbi, greatest of respect to David Moyes, Premier League legend, but I think Roberto De Zerbi is more innovative, more the new age sort of manager. That would be good for Kudus. I think that the way Brighton plays a lot better than West Ham's. In fact, you can evidently see Brighton's style of football and things like that. So I can't understand why on the face of it, he's picked Brighton over West Ham, but these things fluctuate. And there's got to be a reason none of the bigger clubs at this moment in time, for whatever reason, haven't come in for Kudus. He's a player that has, you know, shown in the World Cup for Ghana how good he is. He's very versatile. And he's someone that David Ornstein has said that Arsenal have an admiration for. But once again, having an admiration and actually bidding and opening talks are completely different things. Everybody's interested in everyone. Smash the like button, comment, and let me know your thoughts, people. So we've gone over Balogun. We've touched on Kudus. In relation to Sambi Lokonga, he appears no closer to cementing a move away from Arsenal. Apparently, reps of the midfielder had a meeting with Burnley, and Burnley's meeting did not meet the expectations on personal terms, and a loan move is now more complicated than expected. Monaco still have an interest in Lokonga, but there's nothing concrete so far. So he's actually nursing an injury at the moment, but we're no closer to knowing exactly what's going on with Lokonga. You know, Tierney's linked with a move away, as is Balogun. Two players I've said I don't think in an ideal world Arsenal would want to move them on, but this is the belly of the beast. Tierney can get offers. He's a very good player. Balogun, is clear that whether he goes on to be one of the best strikers in the world or whatever, he's announced himself. Where you look at the Pepes, the Cedrics, the Lokonga, Tavares, it starts to get a bit mucky. But again, Arsenal seem to be focusing on outgoings. Marquinhos has left, Trusty has left, Turner has left. I'm probably skipping out some. So hopefully we get a move on in that regard. I don't know if Lokonga and Tavares will get permanent moves away from the club, but I wish them all the best in whatever they're doing. Pepe's once again been linked with a move to Turkey. Apparently, Besiktas have agreed everything with Nicolas Pepe. On Arsenal's side, the situation is also good, and a few procedures remain. The deal is expected to be completed as soon as possible. Unclear whether we'll get a transfer fee or whether his contract will be terminated and he'll then move. Tierney's been linked with Newcastle. Apparently, Newcastle ahead of signing just seem a few steps away in latest reports this afternoon to signing Cucurella. So I don't know what this means for Tierney, but as you can see, people, Newcastle, the Telegraph said Newcastle are looking to sign a left back on loan before the close of the transfer window, with both Tierney and Cucurella of interest to them. There's some confidence a breakthrough can be reached with at least one. Again, apparently only one will arrive, but Newcastle have been given reason to believe that both Tierney and Cucurella would like to make the move and are looking to progress talks. Now, Arteta's free to do what he wants. You know, if he doesn't believe anyone should be starting or in the squad for tactical reasons, it is what it is. But I did find it a bit strange that Kieran Tierney was left out for tactical reasons, because if nothing more, Tierney's someone that when we're chasing the game gives us a bit of legs down the left-hand side. He's obviously someone that can help us close out games. With Timber's injury, you know, I hope to be wrong, but I'm of the belief of hoping for the best, expecting the worst. I am expecting Timber to be out for a while. Zinchenko is getting back to full fitness, and on the face of it for Tierney, he's seen Kirill, Tomiyasu, Zinchenko, and now Timber all play ahead of him. But maybe we should potentially hold our horses on letting Tierney go with that injury. He has also been linked with Sociedad, who, like Newcastle, could offer him Champions League football, but whether they want to sign him on loan or permanent is another thing. For him going to Newcastle, he's closer to Scotland where his family is. He gets regular football. He plays for a fantastic club that are doing fantastic things, or on the cusp of doing fantastic things with fantastic players. Probably gets to play more as a traditional fullback, even though you are seeing almost every club start to play inverted fullbacks. and he gets game time and he plays under a great manager like Eddie Howe. So everyone would be a winner, really. With Newcastle, if they were to buy him permanently, you want them to pay top dollar, purely because if the shoe was on the other foot, we're going to have to pay an arm and a leg. And they are quote unquote rivals to all of the top six. Now, in fact, they're a top four club based off last season. So we'll have to monitor that one. We have been linked with Barelo of Inter Milan, and I've covered this in the last couple of videos. Would love the guy, can't see it happening. And in the first paragraph, it says any deals contingent on Thomas Partey moving on, in which anything can happen. But Arteta has been crystal clear in that Partey needs to stay. And I think a midfielder needs to come in regardless of any outgoings, respectfully. I think we need to keep hold of Jorginho, obviously Declan Rice. You've got Partey, you've got the Havertz, the Odegaards, the Smith Rowe's, the Fabio Vieiras, guys that can do a job there. But we need pure central mid options. The only exit I would sanction is probably El Nene, and it could be worth holding on to him and letting him be a spare part of the club for at least another year, in my opinion. David Raya is all but an Arsenal player. Apparently, he's done his medical and he was at the Emirates to watch our victory against Nottingham Forest. Sky Sports are saying a formal announcement for David Raya deal is expected in the next 24 hours. So we'll have to monitor that, people, in relation to that. Ornstein has said Liverpool are among clubs interested in Tchouaméni, but Real Madrid are not willing to sanction his exit. I know we ain't gonna go for him, and he did cost 100 million from Monaco to sign for Real Madrid. But if there's any hope of signing a 23-year-old, we should look to get involved, man. Could you imagine Declan Rice, Partey, Tchouaméni will be sorted, really and truly. You know, I wouldn't even mind bringing in Gabby Vega. So we're going to have to monitor what's going on in these situations very closely. But if we can get some money for outgoings, why not, really and truly? And for what it's worth, some reports on social media, while it's not been confirmed, people, in relation to this man here, Timber, people are dreading the worst, and it's expected he'll be out for a long time, really. Long time is subjective. Hopefully he's out for a matter of weeks and not months. It would be a shame, because he started life to Arsenal very good off the back of the Community Shield and in pre-season. And it's been his first game against Nottingham Forest. But injuries happen. We have to be able to react, people. And yeah, man, in the last 2 seasons, whether we've been fighting for the league or for Champions League football, at the end, injuries have cost us. We need to start learning from our mistakes. And injuries are not just unique to Arsenal. Everybody gets injuries. So we're going to have to get on with it. So let me know your thoughts on everything we've discussed. Please, please, please smash the like button and comment. Help the algorithm out to boost our platform. Take care of yourselves. Stay blessed, stay safe. I'm out.
There's always just that active red flag, defending.
I think it's like